Hey there, cyber business pros. Welcome back to the 10-Minute Cyber Pulse, where I break down the week's biggest cybersecurity business stories. No fluff, just facts. This week, we've got a new funding flowing into AI-powered security startups, a sharp wake-up call on what poor cybersecurity really costs businesses, and a messaging mindset shift that every go-to-market team should hear. If you're in cybersecurity, marketing, sales, leadership, or ops, this is your pulse check. Let's get into it. Let's kick off this week's Market Watch with 3 funding rounds worth paying attention to, especially if you're tracking where investors are betting on AI and security convergence. First up, we've got Aurascape, launching out of stealth with a hefty $50 million in initial funding. According to reporting from SiliconANGLE, the startup is all about security observability for AI-powered applications. That's a growing need right now. As more apps rely on AI, understanding what's going on inside those systems and spotting the threats in real time is getting harder. Aurascape says they're building the tools to help teams do just that. This round was led by Ballistic Ventures, with participation from top-tier cyber investors, so it'll be one to watch. Next, Portnox just landed a $37.5 million Series B, reported by Tech News 180. Portnox focuses on network access control, the kind of tech that helps you manage which devices and users are allowed on your network and what they can do. This space has been heating up as more companies go hybrid or remote, and the need for simpler, cloud-based ways to control access. Portnox plans to use the funding to expand its platform and go deeper into mid-market and enterprise. And finally, over in Europe, Kevlar AI just raised $10 million to build out what they're calling an agentic AI security engine. Yeah, that's a mouthful. But the basic idea is this: security tools that can act on their own, not just alert you to problems. Think real-time response and mitigation powered by LLMs. Tech.eu has the story. The team says they're focused on reducing alert fatigue and helping SOC teams scale with fewer people. Big promises. We'll see how it plays out. That's your Market Watch for this week. Not a massive wave of deals, but some clear signs that AI-driven security and cloud-native access control are where the money's going right now. Now let me flag something coming up that every cybersecurity marketer should have on their radar. Hacker Valley is hosting a LinkedIn Live event called Every Cybersecurity Company Has a Story, and most of them suck. And I'm here for it. The focus is how to build better messaging in a crowded, competitive space. Because let's be honest, most cybersecurity vendors struggle to clearly communicate what makes them different, especially to buyers who are overwhelmed, skeptical, and allergic to jargon. This event will be led by experts who've seen what works and what absolutely doesn't, and they're bringing real talk to the table. It's geared towards marketing, sales, and go-to-market teams that want to sharpen their story and stop blending in. This event's free, and it's happening on LinkedIn Live. I'll drop the registration link in the description if you want to check it out. Cyber vendors, this one's for you. Find the link and sign up for the event. Let's talk dollars and cents. A new study from FIS and Oxford Economics puts a real-world number on the cost of cyber threats, fraud, regulatory headaches, and financial inefficiencies. The number is a staggering $1 million in losses per year for the average mid to large size business. That's not just security breaches. This report takes on a wide view: the cost of cleaning up after attacks, staying compliant with shifting regulations, dealing with fraud, and managing messy, outdated financial systems. According to the study, these risks aren't siloed. They compound each other. The businesses that struggle the most are the ones treating cybersecurity and compliance as check-the-box exercises instead of integrating them into strategic decision-making. What's interesting here is that the companies who are doing better have modernized their back-office systems and built stronger cross-team collaboration, especially between security, finance, and compliance. The takeaway for vendors is your buyers are looking beyond just tools. They want partners who understand how cybersecurity ties into business health and risk management. This is a strong signal that go-to-market teams should speak to business outcomes, not just features, when selling into enterprise accounts. Link to the full report is in the description if you want to dig deeper. Amid rising concerns over new China tariffs, analysts are predicting that cybersecurity vendors will remain relatively resistant. According to reporting from CRN, tariffs on Chinese tech components are expected to have ripple effects across many parts of the IT supply chain, but the cybersecurity sector may feel less of the impact. That's because many cyber vendors rely more on software than hardware, and their products often don't depend on components sourced from China. Analysts say security remains a high priority spend for most businesses. Even with tighter budgets, companies aren't pulling back on cybersecurity investments. Instead, they're shifting spending toward areas that reduce long-term risk and deliver operational efficiency. Cloud security, identity, and data protection remain top focus areas, and vendors in those spaces are positioned to stay strong, even as macroeconomic pressures continue. This is also a moment for vendors to double down on value messaging. Customers are looking to stretch every dollar. If your solution helps them consolidate tools, reduce risk exposure, or maintain compliance, that needs to be front and center. CRN's coverage highlights the importance of staying strategic. Tariffs may shake up some parts of tech, but for cybersecurity, the fundamentals still hold. Businesses can't afford to go without it. Link to the full article is in the description. There's a great piece from Richard Seiersen, Chief Risk Tech Officer at Qualys, about a trap a lot of cybersecurity leaders fall into, and honestly, vendors do this too. It's what he calls the make them care trap. You build a security program or product, then you spend all your time trying to convince execs, investors, and customers that it matters. You're constantly pitching the value instead of solving actual business problems. Here's the issue. Just saying this is valuable doesn't mean anything if it's not tied to something measurable, like reducing customer churn, cutting downtime, avoiding regulatory fines, making retention easier. Seiersen says if your goal is to just make them care, you'll spin your wheels forever. Instead, start with a clear business objective, then map security outcomes to that. And here's a great reminder, if your goal can't be measured, observed, or audited, it's probably not a real goal. That applies to internal security teams and to how vendors position their products. So the next time you're crafting messaging or building a new pitch, ask yourself, are we solving something the business already cares about? It's a mindset shift. Less, let me convince you, and more, we're to help you hit your targets. That's what actually builds buy-in and keeps security aligned with strategy. You can check out Seiersen's full piece on LinkedIn if you want more on this framework. All right, that's your Cyber Pulse for the week. If you found something useful or mildly alarming, go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and share it with your team. And if you really want to stay sharp and plugged in, come join the community at bootstrapcyber.com. It's where smart, scrappy cyber business pros connect, grow, and keep pushing the industry forward. Now, it's time to get back to business. See you next week. Until then, keep hacking your success.